weekly wrap and a look ahead into next week. Hope everyone had a good week. It was challenging. So let's talk about the dollar. So the dollar exceeded my expectations. I thought we might be topping here. I tried along in the euro. That didn't work, counter trend. I went back into the short dollar index yesterday, posted it in the room. Now believe that we're peaking, and I drew the fibs in here. So, 102 is halfway back, and 101.60, 61.8 back. So, I believe that's happening. Also, you could see what's happening with the yen. So, the title of this is Scaling In to Sell Zones Between Here and 5140. Let's say about this moving average, 5140. So have some off above 150 just in case it doesn't. It opens lower Monday with the dollar. I'm not looking for a collapse in the yen on this break, but something back towards 45, 44, I think is viable. It's being supported by, look at where the TLT held. Okay, we have pre-hour. Look at that, right back to the breakout, higher low. Not a great week, but a retest of the breakout. So this kind of ties in with a pullback in the yen. I think yields will come in, bonds will pop again. Here's your 10-year. Like I was saying last, I believe it was Monday when I did the broadcast, that even if rates are headed higher into year end or next year, I think we have at least a pullback coming here to the 385 level. So that's 22 bips. Pay attention to that. Now I'll give you a breakdown on the majors. So because euro traded lower than I thought, 109, 108.80 was where I was looking for a rally back to 110.50. Perhaps all we have is a rally back to 110. Cable acting better. When you look at it here, the 132 level looks pretty much like I didn't do the retracements of it, but we kind of held this neckline. So for us to be able to rally to 2.5 in the next week or so, I think that's a possibility. Of course, I'll take advantage of that by being short yen, short the US dollar. Also want to point out that Canada, while the dollar made a new high, is not. Okay. So far, we're putting in a lower high. There's a chance it could come in because, a lot of mo where we could push up, but I'm thinking we have at least 137 to 6.5 on this dollar pullback in Canada. Aussie, same scenario. Could we diverge pretty nicely here on the 4-hour? I think if you want, the preferred long is likely to turn into euro. So I wanted to feature this euro pound. It's not doing anything great on a weekly basis, but you could see the divergences developing here. So if we're going to get a turn next week in the dollar, be better if euro led it. So this could be something to pay attention to because this really defines what the leadership is going to be, similar to the gold silver ratio. So there's a daily glaring divergence here as well. So it's starting to look like a wedge to me. Here's a wedge line up here at 83.5. So thinking that we get a rally in euro pound as well, and that euro may lead during this pullback in the dollar. Okay, what can I say about the metals? They're still blowing off to the upside, but we're diverging here on the daily. Intraday, we're not. As you guys know, I'm not bullish silver up here, and it had a good week. But comparably, and could we make a new high again? Sure, 1, 2, 3. Or we could stop short. Gold's trying to come off a little bit here today. But I just want to take you back in history. I wouldn't call this geopolitical situation between Israel and Iran comparable to Desert Storm. But what I've noticed in conflicts is that safe havens will rally into them until hostilities begin. So perhaps Israel retaliates this weekend, and that could mark at least a short-term high in gold. What's kept me negative silver is this gold-silver ratio, which, I thought we were starting to turn here. We still could be turning next week, maybe once 83 first, but, I can't launch silver longs here. It's orderly and it could have new highs, but I still think that this gold silver ratio is going to turn. My targets are above 90, and I can't see silver doing great in an environment like that, especially if gold begins to weaken. Silver may catch up, but it looks like it may try and retest the highs because we're getting close to 78.6 is 240. Okay, this was a $3 break, so about 78% is 240. Here we are. So don't chase this. If you're long miners, I guess that's okay, but even the miners are diverging at new highs. Look at Newmont. I'm sure it's going to come in higher, but look how it's diverging on the daily. Uh, not as much on intraday, but daily. Look at this. Okay. So that's a possible divergence. I think we'll have one in GDX. We do have one, made a new high. B2 Gold has not made a new high, but looks like it wants to. SILJ will make a new high, but not confirming. Here's some of the weaker ones. They're not near the highs. And that's First Majestic, and Fortuna's really been dogging it. Endeavor's been acting better, but that's not a new high. And same with Hecla. So, I'm not that impressed with what the miners have done during this huge run in gold and silver. So I'm saying still be patient and wait for pullbacks in the physical to commit to that. As far as energy is concerned, um, you know, to me, it looks like, you know, we're going to go to new lows. And Israel said they're not going to attack the oil facilities. We'll see. Just because Israel doesn't attack the oil facilities doesn't mean that Iran doesn't do something to interfere with shipments in the Straits of Hormuz. So something to keep in mind. It's a no trade for me. And then wrap it with risk. I've been talking about maybe a 5% pullback. Here's something that could be setting up uh, maybe today, maybe next week, but here's your 4-hour chart. Here's drive one, a confirmed high. Here's drive two, under 70. And if we get another high, it's going to diverge for a three under 70. NASDAQ has failed to make a new high. It made a lower high. So I still think we could see 19.6, 19.5 in NASDAQ before we make a new run to 22,000. So that's the way I see things. The takeaway is I believe this dollar advance is finishing and we're going to correct. Same with US dollar yen. I think yields are going to come off. I like the way TLT is holding so far today and still looking for at least a pullback in the S&Ps towards after maybe it has to take out that high first, but towards 57. I was looking for 56.80. We'll see what happens here. 760 is also a big level. So not looking for this to be a major top, just corrective. And there should be some very good trading opportunities next week. Again, trading the dollar, pulling back here. You could put a little piece on now. And the yen, I'm glad I put at least a half. And you know why I put on a half? Because you know, you can't be perfect. You know, I could wait for another test of this line, maybe, but that's why, you know, I have a position on. So if it rolls over and breaks down under this 49 level and opens the door to at least 47, at least I'm there for it. So this was something I was looking to do this week. You know, thought maybe even last week that was it. I just sat on my hands, and now I've been back in the chair for a couple of weeks and back in tune. So back in tune to take advantage of some corrective action in multiple markets right here. So good luck the rest of the day. See you in the room. Posted the yen entry about 30 pips ago in the room. So it makes sense that you visited, at least check in, look at what Mike is putting out there. You know, this still, you know, the last stages or the latter stages, at least in my view, of a bull market. But even on down days like we had this week, Mike was finding opportunities on the long side, following his option flow and his curated X list. So check in and see who he follows to get some of these ideas and start paying attention to his option sweeps. I'm sure he'll be on in a little bit. Have a great weekend. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone Monday.